And we're live on the internet.
Yay!
Yay! All right, so welcome to FamiLAB November meeting. We all survived Maker Faire. Everybody happy with that?
Survived.
Yay! I slept for 12 hours all weekend.
About
You slept.
I wasn't sure you did. That's good to hear.
Oh, wait, you mean during the weekend or just last weekend?
No, during Maker Faire.
Oh, fuck you.
That might be worse.
I haven't slept more than
a few hours here and there.
6.
If anybody wants, there's links in the announcements channel for both the cast and also the agenda. So we were going to have Jamie start off with our financial updates, but she is unavailable. So I'll go ahead and give a quick run through. So the books are nearly all caught up. They're caught up through October. Huge thanks to board members who participated in the latest books catch up. Eventbrite classes for October gave us $150 for soldering. Membership changes since the last meeting. We had 3 gain, 4 losses, 1 join, 1 rejoin, 1 drop, and rejoin. 3 losses for no time, personal reasons, and stop payment. Currently have 125 members. That includes family members, special memberships, and special cases. Maker Faire Orlando update, still tallying expenditures, receipts still coming in. Haven't received word on soldering profits yet, but we'll update at December meeting.
The other thing to mention is if your PayPal email is not your primary email, please pay attention to it, because if your payment bounces for some reason, like PayPal screws up and says, this isn't important anymore, let me just stop paying. That's the way we get in touch with you, unless we know you otherwise. So please make sure that you check the email that is associated with your PayPal account. If it's not your primary email, please let us know.
Yes.
Otherwise, we'll turn off your badge and you can't get in one day.
Let us know if you have different addresses that you use for different things.
Yeah. If you do not pay us, we stop your membership.
Yes, membership is contingent on payment.
Crazy idea, man.
I know.
What? How long did it take for that to come about?
Do you want to know the real answer? Or do you want
All right,
I'll tell you later. How's that sound?
So next item, kind of already got covered. So Maker Faire, we all survived. Yay. Thank you for anybody who helped out, making sure the weekend went as smoothly as it did. There were always little things, but there's always things to improve. So we'll do better next year on anything that we messed up and everything else. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Dave.
So lab is still clusterfuck. So
Yeah.
everything got shoved in and nothing got put away.
But I want to say something on this. It's all in really semi-nicely organized member bins in the welding area. So if you want to put stuff back,
too.
you can very easily do so. Like
Pick a box.
reassembling some of the display case. Do that.
Which
Super
someone
easy.
started. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you to whoever started.
Yes.
When
It's
I
like half
technically
done.
started, I put my robot in there.
So, yes, lab is still clusterfuck. We need cleanup. So if you are walking through and you say, hey, I'm going down there, and there's a box sitting next to you that you think goes down there,
Shit, we crashed this thing.
move it, please.
What?
Oh, no.
Oh.
I said
Um,
something.
So something that I found out during Maker Faire is Factor is under new management. It was sold about 4 to 6 months ago. The new guy, Eddie, seems like a really good guy. He's wanting to work with other maker faces.
Come on in, guys.
Just sit on the floor. Or in the chair.
There are stools somewhere.
Somewhere.
This is
There's a
actually
chair.
There's a chair right here.
Right there. She only bites if you consent. Oh.
Dan does bite.
Yeah.
No, it's fine.
I was told to get in this chair. I was perfectly comfortable just playing kindergarten
Sit on
again.
the floor.
By the way, y'all.
I didn't steal it. It was for
Broadcast on the
somebody.
internet.
Oh yeah, you're on the internet. Well,
But they haven't
so
seen it.
So Factor's under new management. They're actually going to become an actual nonprofit this time, and the guy wants to work with us and everybody and try and help the maker community as a whole. So we were having conversations with him, and so we might try to do some collaboration, but all that is on hold until they sort out their nonprofit stuff, because it's a competition thing at this point. They're them being an actual for-profit organization and then us not. So
Basically, since currently they are a for-profit space, they are by nature competitive, and we don't want to collaborate with someone who is competitive. We're all about collaborating with people on an equal term.
Yep. And I'll add one more thing that was always kind of a point of contention with us is he's not going to use the same tagline of the first Vegas.
Yeah.
The community, like, I forget what it was that he said, but it was, working to enrich the community or something along, I don't know. But
He's dropping the first moniker?
yes,
Yeah.
The
yes,
dude seems really cool.
he does. Seems good, wants to work with us.
Was he high or drunk when you talked to him?
I did not speak to Bando Bob.
The new guy.
No, no.
That's a change.
New guy seems to be good. His name's Eddie Cantu. Canto?
Can
Can
do.
too.
Yeah. And his mom, who is like running like all the back end stuff. So
We shall see.
we shall see and see how things go.
So this is a different guy with a different mother?
Yes.
Yeah.
Should we just put them with the mother?
Should we remember that this is on the internet?
Well, I mean, I have
Hi, Eddie. Hi, Eddie's mom. We love you.
So honestly, I think that they're turning it in a good direction, and I think that there's a lot of things that we can work on, but all that is contingent upon them finishing up their 501 before we can even start to have those conversations. Next thing, so warehouse ceiling things. So the power retracts, the lights. We're starting to gather a list of all the things that we want to add, replace, remove from the warehouse ceiling. So all the old LED lights, they're all coming down. They lasted a month, 2, Mike?
It was almost 3 months before they all died.
So they're all dead, and they're all going to come down because they're useless.
How are we doing that?
We're going to probably rent a scissor lift or something like that for
That's
as short a time as possible.
Probably nothing. We are renting a person lift for the day.
Yeah.
And that's why we're
Not
gathering a
that
list and
much.
we're taking our time. We want to knock it all out one day.
So
Yes.
we're not sending our poor landlord or like Lance or someone up on top
Of
of
the
the
stairs ladder.
No,
We are
we
doing
would
this
really
safe-
prefer to not.
safe-
Excellent. Because last time when I saw Dave Wood use the rope
We're
break
going to
on the
look at
broom
the
in the
ocean
doorway,
lights.
I nearly had a heart attack.
We're going to attempt to not do that.
Excellent, I like it, safety.
Safety
What is
third.
that?
Hashtag.
That'll be sometime in the spring.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how we're shooting for.
Before it gets
Yeah.
So if you have anything that you think should be on there, yes.
Are you looking for a replacement brand for the LED lights?
We will take recommendations of anything and any information you wish to give us into consideration.
Okay. Because I went to the place where the LED lights worked.
Well, we were told.
But I saw them work for more than 3 months.
In a hot warehouse or at ceiling level?
Actual LED arrays are not balanced, so they print themselves out. The balance sort of regulators are still good. Okay. So we just, if somebody wanted to take them all, replace the actual module, the LED module, let's just pull it down to the aluminum back.
We're gonna have a whole lot of shop lights after we bring those down.
Yeah.
I actually like that idea better than repairing them and putting them right back up.
The high bays work well. They are reliable and means we don't have to go up there anytime soon after this project because I'm never going up that high again after this.
If we end up having to replace the high bays, we should be replacing them with the LED screen ones like the ones over in the metal shop.
So next decade when they die.
Yeah.
No, there's some that are decorated.
Well, add to the list of things. So we have several broken retracts that need to be replaced or fixed if possible, and we're going to try and rent the person lift. We have to clear the warehouse space for any area, so any more work we need to clear those tables out of that area. So
Welcome,
that's
Brian. There's plenty of floor space.
There might be a chair to scrounge here and there. There's a stool.
Oh, there's a stool.
There's a
Behind Jackie.
behind Jackie.
Oh, there's also one over here.
Beep, beep.
Remember when somebody dragged a couch in every meeting?
Do you remember when everybody would fit on 2 couches? I do.
Whoa,
Yeah.
where does it sit right here? This one.
You know what?
No,
You
there's
still
design.
could if you
Come on.
tried hard
It's
enough.
interesting.
No.
Okay, so the next item on the list is the holiday party. So we're looking at December 15th at 6 p.m.
I'm looking at nothing. It is December
It is
15th.
December 15th. Baker Fair got in the way of deciding things, and so we made a decision as best we could. So it's members only. You're welcome to bring your +1s, but not really open to non-members. No recordings. Just stop recording stuff because you never know what's going to happen. And
No recordings, no photographs,
Yes.
no audio recordings.
What happens at the Christmas party stays at the Christmas party.
The lamb
And
must
we
come
use
to
that
glass.
word,
Or
but
That shit
that's
goes with you.
accurate.
Really?
No, what happens at the Christmas party stays at the Christmas party, Mike. It's been 2 goddamn years.
There's something missing from the display case.
anyway, so
That was 3 years
Oh,
ago.
that's in a different box. I hit that so it didn't go to Maker Fair.
all right. So
All the new people are so confused. Like I see all these places like,
So,
what the heck is going on?
we'll come back. We'll come back. That'll get circled back around to after the meeting. Okay, so what we're gonna need to do is we're gonna need somebody to take on the planning and deal with the volunteer to lead the White Elephant exchange. Also, we need a food coordinator. We don't want any individual taking on everything because it's not gonna work. There's too much stuff that needs to be done. So if anybody wants to volunteer and help out and coordinate and make things happen,
when we say food, it's potluck.
Not
It's
saying
usually
like,
one of the most delicious potlucks I've ever been to,
yeah.
but it's still potluck.
And one of the options is $50 in fast food.
Or like 10. We don't all have money, Brian.
we did have somebody show up with $50 in fast food more than
Yeah.
once. So
If you like vegetables, you should be prepared to bring your own though.
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of meat.
There seems to be a lack of vegetables or
No, there's
starches.
no lack. We just don't want them.
But what we'll do, we have Google Forms that we use for RSVP. It has, what food options you're gonna bring, or soda or ice, water that's frozen. And it says things like, are you participating in the gift exchange, White Elephant, and some other stuff. I looked at it last week.
So yes, keep an eye on the announcements channel. There will be things dropped in there about forms for signing up for different things. So if you're interested, sign up on the forum. Also, maybe approach the board and just say, hey, I want to take on this thing, and we'll put people together to do things.
Or ops. So
Or
that
ops.
board does not get handed a very easy task.
Hi. So I'm going to go ahead and read the general forum post, or at least summarize it a bit. So this is for the White Elephant gift exchange. So bring a premium, luxury, deluxe, amazing, desirable, salvaged, hastily constructed, horrible, suggestive, innuendo-laced gift. Don't spend more than $15 on said gift. Be prepared to leave with something far less or more awesome than you brought. Hilarity, mirth, and much merriment will ensue. Be prepared for innuendo-laced gifts. If you don't know how a White Elephant gift exchange works, we'll tell you how when you get here. Participation is optional, but it'll be super fun to make and participate. Just make something if you don't want to buy something. So join the Christmas channel on Slack, which is #Christmas_party for all the talk about parties. It's also BYOB. Don't drink and drive. If you do, sort out designated drivers and all of those things.
Not if you do.
If you decide to
If you
drink.
decide to drink. Don't drink and drive, period. If you decide to drink, sort out a designated driver.
Before drinking.
Before drinking.
Or be prepared to spend the night at the lab because most people will not let you have your keys back.
Yes.
But we can't say you can sleep here.
Is it 18 or up?
Dear God.
Suggested,
Generally
Suggested,
18
yes.
and up.
strongly suggested, like really strongly.
If they're under 18, they should leave before the White Elephant.
Must be,
Just-
yeah.
Just put it that way. That's just general lab rules. If there's a minor
18
that
and
have
up,
to-
except in very particular cases like Alice when she was
Yeah.
17.
points at Savannah.
Yeah.
Wherever you are.
Your children will be corrupted.
She's older than I am.
There will
They
be
might be
dicks,
scarred for life.
butts,
Butt plugs.
butt plugs.
What?
Yep.
This is on the internet.
Oh, no.
Guess what? There's dicks and butts on the internet too.
Okay, so on to the next section. So this is gonna be the obsolete section. So are you taking that
Yeah,
or?
sure. I don't
Right.
care.
How
All
can you
right,
break the table?
it's fine. It unscrewed.
Hey,
Yeah, I know. She was freaking out over the table leg. It's fine. Purge table. It'll probably get dumped sometime this week. Hopefully tonight, but probably sometime this week. Oh, hello, internet.
That's what I was asking for.
We're gonna put it up on the tablet. Purge table is also not, I have random shit at my house and I don't want to throw it out. It is, I found something here at the lab that is unlabeled, that does not have a home. It is on the purge table to either be reclaimed or thrown out, not your random shit from home.
We have a channel for that instead.
Yes, there is a channel called Stuff Exchange. If you have shit at home that you don't want, post it in there. Maybe somebody wants your shit. Maybe they don't. If they don't, throw it out at home. There is,
We pay for trash here.
well, yes, we pay for trash here, and we already have random people who just like throw out boogie boards. I like, I came here the other day and there's just like three boogie boards. Clean up after yourself. There's no janitor, there's no employees at all. Just clean up after yourself. If you spill shit, clean it up. If you have a cup of water, throw it out when you leave. Basic common decency.
About the water first.
Please.
Well, okay, yeah, if there's liquids, dump it out. Show and tell. Do you want to show it now or during your intro?
Yeah, whatever works for everybody.
Literally does
Intro.
not matter.
Intro.
Okay, intro. Anybody? God damn it, Mike.
Just get
What? What's the my back?
Oh, wait, what? Damn it, Dan was Craig.
Everyone's confused about what's going on.
Does anyone have something to show off?
It was just.
I have a partially completed drawn disc.
All right, now you're on the internet.
Partially completed.
Because it's printed.
What?
And it's only half a disc.
It'll light up soon. Hashtag Maker Faire got in the way.
Okay, you don't have that sweet star for my
It'll be before Maker
No, it's
Faire.
mostly
It'll be
that.
done before Maker Faire.
Yeah, maybe next year.
Wait.
358 days.
I'm working on it.
Anybody? Oh, all
Hiding
right.
outside the door.
Well, rotate back. I'm fat and self-conscious.
Okay.
Speaking of this, while someone else is getting anything, I have a love-hate relationship with XTC3D. If you'd like to know about it,
I may or may not have ruined your chances of getting this done by suggesting things. And I'm sorry.
It's fine. I'll blame you forever.
I know.
You really will.
They did replace my my bottle though, and they got me a different lot, which I insisted on,
Oh, wow.
just
Okay.
in case there was something wrong with it.
I don't know if it was moisture or the bottle or something, but that was really
They
weird
said
what it was doing.
moisture is not a factor.
That's odd.
That's what I said too. That's what they said. I said, can I have a different lot number? So they had to go open up a new box in the back.
Also completely out of the frame.
Okay, people this year are talking.
So,
So wait, why are there two table legs now?
Blame Dan.
Somebody can't stop breaking the table.
There should be more.
Yes, I need all of the.
so many table legs.
So I'll do something real quick while people are talking because all I have is a picture here.
Hi.
Hi. So I made a dial sublimation shirt. It's backwards, but it says anything is possible after Maker Faire.
Is the shirt backwards?
That time
No,
shirt.
it's right, but
So it's not like the mirror in the back.
no, it is not.
Oh, I kind
If you
of
haven't seen it, the mirror in the first bathroom here was engraved by one of our members, or attempted to be engraved.
Katie.
It
And
was
says,
engraved.
I was not pointing any fingers.
Just I was.
Because it started, it says, make something great, and it's like, no, and then she tried it again, and she flipped it over.
Go make something great.
Yeah.
But I forgot to flip the bottom text, so something great is completely backwards. So I crossed it out, and then I tried to do something better, and I had flipped it, but I didn't think I flipped it, so there's like a 1/4 inch of engraving that is correct. There's only a 1/4 inch, and then it's correct above that.
And that works. It went from something great to something better. It's like that. Close enough. Hashtag FamiLAB.
Oh
I'm working on my
Trying with the
Instagram.
hashtag.
I'm really trying here. This is how you use Instagram, right? Just say,
You're
like,
too old.
hashtag-
You're a generation removed by two.
I'm really new at this. I'm trying really
Let's
hard.
have him do his
Next.
Hi.
The Jeffrey Show.
Hi, Jack. I tried to also finish this before Maker Faire. It went about as well as yours did. So I got most of the way through this. Since the last time, I've actually managed to paint on like the decals for the top stripes and things. The only things I have left to do are along the body on
And
both
what
sides.
is this a prop from?
Destiny.
Oh.
Sci-fi pistol thing.
It is not quite on your.
Video game.
No, I mean,
Oh, hi.
yeah, you're really not in frame.
Just rotate the computer.
I have no idea.
So can we expect a full cosplay by next year?
I'm hoping to have this done hopefully like in the next month, because now Maker Faire is not
So by next year.
a looming thing.
Before
Next month, next year, next decade, one of those.
I mean, technically after next month is next year.
What
Well,
kind
the
of
biggest
marvelous
thing-
material is that made out of?
So this is actually just PLA.
What?
If I was going to do it again, I probably would have done PETG because it's a little bit brittle. But as far as things go, it's actually quite nice. The only thing that was really holding me back is I still need to find a time to come in and somebody needs to show me how to create stencils with a laser cutter, because trying to do text with an
Do
X-Acto
you
knife
want
is not good.
stencils Or
Well, what I've been
vinyl?
doing with these is I had printed out and then just sort of
Well, right.
cut them out, taped them down,
But-
spray
But
painted.
you could use the vinyl cutter, and then
Whichever
it
works.
holds itself down for you.
Yeah.
Whichever works.
There's a lot of ways you can go.
I don't know how to use either, so that's.
We can make a stencil on the house.
One of the many.
I like
overkill.
overkill
is good. Well,
Brand
I mean, like, are you like 1 inch thick or 2? It's not all about the length. Not about the length. Yes. 2 inches is all you need. Wait.
Basically, all I need to do is get some card paper and cut it.
It's
And then I
really
can just-
gritty.
Yeah. When it's done, hopefully
Like,
it'll be really
oh,
nice.
shit.
I even have, for the back strap here, around here, there's meant to be like a grip
You're
material.
totally not on camera.
I'm looking at the room and the prop and not the screen. On the back strap here, there's meant to be a grip material for the palm, and what I did is I got vinyl, car vinyl, to use for lining things. It's carbon fiber. It'll look really nice when it's done. I don't know. Thanks.
You're doing great.
So the next question is, why can't you fire Nerf darts with it?
Yes.
Because I wasn't thinking of that. I want to
Hashtag
do
version
the
Oh my god.
I want to do the
How
thirst
happy
sapper from. I'm actually planning to do the thirst sapper from Fallout 4 as a Nerf firing thing. I actually got the Nerf things. I've got one of the upgraded springs for a Nerf gun that I'm going to put in there, and I've actually planned out how I'm going to do the trigger on that. So that will also be coming eventually. You've seen these, but these weren't done before the last meeting. I finished off little tiny clone trooper heads. These are going to just be, these are basically templates to practice painting because I'm going to do a full-size helmet, and I just wanted to kind of get an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great one.
Sticks to wire and stuff.
Apparently they do stack, as some kids at the table found out. Sort of.
It's kind of like doing those Zen rock formations, maybe. Kind of. And then just after Maker Faire, I've sort of been tweaking and playing around with my printer. I upgraded to Noctua fans and things. And the print has actually gotten really, really nice.
Is that a Gyarados head?
That is the cat medallion from The Witcher.
There you go.
So I've just been trying to dial in my print settings and stuff, playing around with PETG.
Hashtag cosplay and props.
Oh
I should
my
probably
God.
hold
Literally
them up,
a
too.
real thing, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
You're just too old for this.
hopefully finishing props and things. Also been testing out getting my printer dialed in with new fans and a new extruder.
Which new extruder did you get?
The Flexion. So it's really quite nice. It is a kind of a fiddly thing to get in there because instead of having a spring tensioner, you're dealing with a mechanical screw tensioner. But once you have the tension on the filament right, it holds it really, really tight, and it's got a really consistent finish to it. I will actually, if you want to feel the surface on that, it is incredibly smooth.
BTG.
That's gonna feel it. But it's just,
Yeah.
once it gets it in there,
Did you think I
you
wanted to
film
sit
it,
there?
it's
I sat here to get away from the camera.
really nice finish.
It's not. pretty
It's like
utility.
just above 3D Solutech.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, it's like bottom barrel.
let's put it this way: it's not like you're going to Prusa or any of the other bigger filament makers.
No, why would I? Not
Exactly.
much for no different.
I know.
It's not hobby
They're
kit
consistent.
though.
Yeah, so it happens.
Yeah.
I haven't
As a-
had
as a
problems with
whole-
their filament in like
That's what I'm saying.
4 years now?
Hashbox is consistent.
I've actually found.
gives.
I don't know about their PLA, but Amazon's basic PETG is actually pretty good.
It's like driving a Ford. It'll probably work.
Anyway,
Tiny random printed things.
Anybody else? Would you like to-
It's working.
Okay.
Thank you.
Alice,
Now
do you have
know.
Alice, do you have a show and tell?
I think her show and tell was Dave.
Are you guys married now? Did that happen?
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
We haven't signed the papers yet. No, but like,
in soul and
we're gonna have
spirit,
the actual
we are
thing in
binded.
2020. You're not invited.
Am I still performing the ceremony?
Yeah. Will you wear a whole outfit?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. See, but Lily, you need to be the ring bearer. Yeah.
See,
Wait,
my favorite bit of it is you
bearer or
said
ring
yes
bearer?
before she finished the sentence. She could have ended that with anything.
As long as I can get this
Do you think he's
out,
getting his
I'll
All right.
No, I have a proper totem now.
All right,
Okay then.
that
So-
is for show and tell.
We're just gonna say yes. If there's more, show it off afterwards.
We just got done with the compare. Everyone shows their shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So upcoming events. Christmas party is 12/15. Monthly modular meetup is every fourth Monday. This month it is on 11/26. The radio and electronics building meeting is every other Friday. So the next one is on 11:30, and then every other Friday after that. Intro to TCP, the TCP, IP, and InfoSec is every Sunday night. Raspberry Pi Jam is every last Saturday. This month it is 11/24. Security Night, DC 407, is every fourth Tuesday. This month it is not 11/20. What is next Tuesday?
Oh, I'm sorry. I fucked up.
27.
It is on
Today is
11/27. Electron microscope work day. What day is that actually? I've heard every time we announce
It's not
that
on
it's wrong.
Fridays.
Yeah,
Third Saturday.
It's on
it's on the
Saturday,
third Saturday.
but I think the time's been wrong on the.
Yeah, it's been wrong lately.
I don't
If
know. I don't
somebody
know
will
if Eventbrite
get the
corrects for the time
I think
switch.
it's on Eventbrite.
But it listed it like 7 p.m.
Just
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's
that's
like,
not correct.
yeah, it's like
It should be
wrong.
Is there a channel? Is there a channel for the SCM?
There is, it is electron microscope with a dash between two.
Usually it's filled with messages about, hey, what time is this at?
Yeah. So if you want to help with that, see that channel.
If you know what time it is at, go tell me in events and classes, and I will fix it tonight.
Thank you, Katie. Mike, we
Open
appreciate
house is the first Tuesday of every month, so the next one is on 12/4, and the next member meeting, which is always on the third Tuesday, is on 12/18.
There's also
I have-
introduction to welding class on December 1st.
Well, it was
And-
added after I did this.
And I have one more thing to add too, because no one just went. The Power Wheels Racing Summit is on the 1st. It's 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. I would strongly encourage you guys to dial in if you're interested in the ridiculousness that is the rule-making division of Power Wheels Racing.
It's entertaining even if you don't actually care about the rules.
I won't be here, I'll be there, so someone else will have to organize a viewing party here.
If you want to see it, can I say go to Maker Effects, because they'll have pizza.
Ooh, see?
Yes.
That's a good reason.
I think they're all pitching in for pizza, so you should be.
I said there will be pizza.
Yeah.
All right, we'll bring a couple bucks.
Okay, so if you're interested, you could watch it here. You could watch it at Maker Effects. Maker Effects apparently has pizza.
And you may
Chip in.
need to make a donation.
I've had enough pizza at Maker Faire.
There's no such thing as enough pizza.
Okay,
beg to differ.
we've all had working conditions. We've had lots of
We've got enough.
Don't organ shame.
Okay, so if you need reminders on any of our channels, I'm holding the talking stick, one of them.
So am I. Oh, it's a talking one.
Yes.
There are enough table lengths in the room that this system's quickly gonna fall apart.
Oh, the government
Wait,
being a table.
wait, another one.
if you need reminders on any FamiLAB events, you can see the Google Calendar. It's on the front page of FamiLAB.org. Ta-da! Yeah, thus ends the ops-led portion of the member meeting.
Back to Dave.
Great. I have the stick.
The stick.
It's just not keeping up yet.
Yeah, it's
The stick.
Okay, so new members. So we have a couple people who need to introduce tonight, and a couple of returning members. Looks like. So we'll go through the list. Start with Nathan Fulkerson. That's me.
Hi, Nathan.
Hi, Nathan.
Hi,
Come to the front of the
Come on
class.
up, take the stick, and tell us about yourself.
When you make this thing, you gotta put it on the ground, put your forehead on it, and spin around.
I cannot do that.
Have the stick, sir.
All right, I have the stick.
Don't want David's stick.
Yeah. So my name is Nathan.
Hi, Nathan.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. I volunteered at Maker Faire.
Yay!
I got interested in the maker movement, maker thing years ago when 3D printing was taking off and drones were still hot, all that stuff. But recently my fascination was with retro computing, rebuilding and restoring old computers, building, I want to build my own 8-bit machine for fun. Yeah, still have an interest in 3D printing, mostly for like cosplay purposes or prop making. Yeah, that's, I guess all I gotta say.
Did you meet David Murray at the fair?
Is that the 8-bit guy?
I did see him, and you know what's shameful is I didn't recognize that it was him until he told me that he was the 8-bit guy, and then I was like, that sounds awfully familiar. Oh wait, I watched that a lot.
Yeah, he came on Friday during setup and was able to hang out a little bit more, which is cool.
Yeah, yeah. I really wish I had gotten a chance to talk to him more.
It's interesting. He's much quieter in person than you would expect.
Yes.
No,
Because
that's totally normal.
Sure.
On the computer, there's not people.
That's true. He's not a real good people person. Like he's cool, but he's
That's
just
why
like,
he
hence
talks to
reason-
the internet.
Yeah,
That's why
I
he's
really
like
like
computers.
Yeah, like
super cool though.
yeah, it's very super cool.
He's like, when I started talking to him, we were over the DeLorean, and he's like, I didn't know if you knew who I was. I'm like, I've watched all your videos, like twice.
yeah, actually, the coolest thing I witnessed at Maker Faire was there was a kid, probably 7 or 8 years old, came up with his mom, and his mom's like, he watches like every video that you put out. Like he was so excited to meet you, and like he pulls out an Atari cartridge and has the 8-bit guy sign it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
it was
cool.
fantastic. So yeah.
I have a question for Nathan.
Okay.
What's your favorite color?
Probably green.
Why?
Why? Well, my birthstone is an emerald. I like snakes. Snakes are.
No.
Sometimes.
Snakes are associated with
Have you seen
green.
the holographic snake?
I have not.
It's really cool. You should look it up. It's like a rainbow. But
Okay. When I think of snakes, I think green.
Are you a Slytherin?
No, probably not. I'm probably
you like
Ravenclaw.
green and
Yeah.
snakes, but you're not Slytherin.
I know. It's
You're a
weird.
disgrace.
Just because he speaks partial tongue doesn't mean he has to be a Slytherin.
Yeah.
There are other characters in the Potterverse that.
So, is there
Just
anything
because I
that
like
you find
Volkswagen
as a,
doesn't make me German.
That's a
What?
good example. I appreciate
I missed
it.
the question.
Moving on. You had a question. And then you-
What is your favorite fandom besides the shirt you're wearing?
Okay, that is a good question. Damn, that's hard. Probably, what's my favorite now? Star Wars is probably my longest running one. And Pokemon too, probably.
Let's get
Okay.
you on. Follow-up question.
Yeah.
Did you or did you not like the new movies?
Which?
Oh.
Oh, I actually, you know what? I really like The Last Jedi. I like the new movies quite a bit. I know that's contentious.
No, not if you're a smart person. They're
What is your favorite? What would be classified as a retro computer, and why is it the Amiga?
You know what? Okay, you're close because I really like the Commodore, the 60, Commodore 64. I do like the Amiga. Actually, one of
The 500 specifically, or the 1200 if you're, got money.
Yeah. Actually, about the Amiga, so the thing is with retro computers, it became this sort of thing where I'm into retro games. Like I had a Super Nintendo, I had a Sega Genesis. Like my grandma had an NES in her basement for like when the grandkids came over, all that stuff. But I was born in '89. Like I was born well past most of the retro, or what's considered the retro computing era. Like I think my first computer was probably a Windows 95 machine.
So you're a
Probably.
computer hipster.
There's a phrase I've heard for this whole thing. I wasn't born too much earlier than you were.
Yeah.
It's nostalgia for a time you've never known.
Yes, and that is exactly what it is because I also grew up watching like cheesy 80s movies like War Games and Hackers, and like I became really.
Those were cheesy.
I know, but I became really interested in the. I became really interested in the hacker scene of like the 80s and early 90s. And like these were the computers that they used and hacked on. So I never did any BBSing or any of that stuff. So it's really cool that like it's 2018 and we can still do that.
Do we still maintain an IRC room?
Yes.
Yes.
Every time I click on the link, it's broken.
The link could be broken because I think the service we're using to do the web part of it no longer exists.
Well, we can make that happen again with AWS with thousands of dollars of credits.
It still has web chat. It's just changed.
Should mine Bitcoin.
It's only less actually.
There was a news article about a principal that got fired because he was running a cryptocurrency mining operation out of school and running the school's electricity bill up.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Two-part question. What's
Yeah.
the last thing you 3D printed, and what's the next thing you're going to print?
That is a really good question because I don't actually own my own 3D printer, so I can't even remember the last thing I 3D printed. But the next thing I will probably 3D print is related to the retro computing thing. I am in the process of building a Pi hat for turning a Pi into a emulator for the Commodore 1541 drive.
That's great.
So I would like to build a nice little 1541 case enclosure.
Nice. That's perfect. That's great.
Is there any other questions?
Cool. I will pass.
Oh,
He's got one.
Yeah, what retro computers do you own?
I have right now. I have an Apple IIe and I've got a Commodore, two breadbox style Commodore 64s.
Nice.
I every once in a while look around through like Craigslist, eBay, and all these other like little sellers or Facebook pages to see if there's anything that I can pick up. But I mean, Commodores for some reason, like their price is skyrocketing recently. Like it costs probably $150 to get your hands on the machine.
Retro nostalgia.
Yeah, so
it's probably the sound chip.
the sound chip,
The chip.
and I think the
You can buy
C6
those.
people will buy the chip for like $30 itself. And then I think the C64 Mini that came out, like the whole like mini emulator craze that started with Nintendo. I think the C64 Mini spawned an interest again because it's only an emulator for games and nothing else. Like the keyboard's fake, everything else. So people are trying to get their hands on those machines instead. That's just a guess.
Maybe they're being sold to do ring farmers.
One more question, what team are you on?
Oh, Pokemon team, I'm Instinct.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ingress.
Do you know about the retro?
Is Anthony Morris,
No.
also known as Phantom.
Wait, let's save.
You call me Anthony, I will never
Not
talk to
you,
you
Dave.
again.
Other Dave.
Hi, Dave.
Hey, look at Dave
Hi,
Casey.
Dave.
Are you still like Prague or like Paris or something? You were
No, I'm back.
Portugal.
I'm not sure why we can't. I'm not sure why we can't hear you. Can you just post it in general or to somebody? I don't know.
Maybe the DSP's not set up.
I don't. I didn't turn on this.
Thanks, Dave. We still love you.
Thank you, Dave.
Brand new in the box. Still
Please send a message if you need
Is that
something.
on eBay or
You
you have
flea
it?
market.
Flea markets. Yeah.
So,
Fantic.
Fantic.
I've never seen one new in the box.
So the Delta Maker in the 3D printing room, I built them. Built approximately 350 of them now so far. I run a community of over 500,000 members doing 3D printer help, technical support, and everything else like that on Google Plus. They're shutting it down now, so I'm looking for a home. But that's essentially all I do. Anything beyond that is anything that's controlled with G-code. I minorly do CNC machining, laser cutter. I've got a K40 at home that I've converted over to mostly open source hardware, and I'm running that. Got a shop that's not quite as big as the lab, but it's coming along. One mic.
What's your favorite 3D printing surface?
PEI, by far. You require a heated bed for it, but when it cools down, everything pops off of it. Except for like PETG, I believe. You don't want a PETG on PEI.
I think that bonds forever.
Yes.
Is this the first time you've been in the lab?
Oh, yeah. I failed to mention that. I've been a member of the lab since before. I think most of the people in here. I think maybe Kyle.
No,
has been
me,
there
Mike,
longer.
Were you at the 800 space?
I was at the
Yeah.
400 space,
Okay.
where if you had to plug something in, you were sniffing somebody's butt in
Yes.
order to do it. You lost your personal boundaries there very quickly.
For reference, that 400 square foot space was less than half of the space of this classroom. It was scary.
And we had what, like 20 or something there?
Yeah, before we could move. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And we had one 600 BTU.
Yes, and
20 amps of total power.
yeah, we blew the breaker quite often.
Do you remember nostalgia hashtag?
I was waiting for the next hashtag. on that one.
When we took blower fans and aimed them at the breaker panel to keep the breaker so that they would stay on.
That was
longer.
a thing.
That was a thing.
Yes, I remember that. Do we
I
still
just
have
said
the
that
black
80.
casting couch?
We got it. Oh, no, it's gone.
away. Okay. That went away with all the stains that it acquired on it. It went away. Okay.
I am very glad for that.
That's not the one that's on the loft, right?
No.
No.
Different one.
Nick, don't look for
Anyways,
problems.
moving on.
What's your favorite fandom? 3D printers.
Is that a fandom though?
It is if you say it
I
is.
know.
Are you a fan
Are
of
you part
3D
of the
printers?
lawn?
Do you like 3D printers?
I like any computer that does things for me.
Great. So you're a fan of CNC.
I'm
Great.
yeah, CNC, sure, fine.
Yes.
Maybe.
Rule 34?
Wrong way to go with that.
I don't actually know, but I'm sure Google
Bowsette fits that category, right? I know who the fuck Bowsette is. I'm almost the gayest person in here.
That's quite
Because I know you and I can pick on you. But what are you going to teach us?
I'm actually hoping to get all the 3D printers working again.
Me
There are a lot of machines, including the lasers.
Are you going to teach us? Are you going to have like open work sessions where other people can learn on how to fix the 3D?
Probably
printers?
no. If you catch me, I'll teach you whatever you
Fair
want.
enough.
Did you know we've got a 3D printer hanging near the can crusher?
Is it-
probably
okay,
click on
okay.
by hanging, is it a hang printer?
No, it's just hanging
on
on the
French
wall.
plates.
It's
Someone was throwing it out, and I screwed French cleats to it and hung it up as a piece of art because I didn't feel like fixing it yet. But I had visions of strapping it to a robot and having a driver around the lab ejecting prints all over the place.
Yeah, so hopefully also the lasers.
Yeah.
Since I'm now working on the K40 at home, that was a lot like our full spectrum.
from back in the day that Ted could never get working again.
We have another 40-watt laser that hasn't been hooked up yet.
Yes, I was looking up the specs.
60, I thought.
I was looking up the specs on that, and so
I don't know.
It's a smaller laser than we currently have.
And it only does engraving.
it looks
Don't
like
cut.
it's a 20 watt.
Yes.
Might be.
I was looking on how to remove the back panel off of it already, so yeah.
Supposedly it even works. Like.
It looks like it
actually.
works. The user documentation actually says you must keep a 9-volt plugged into the back of it at all times.
That's-
Yes, yeah, no,
I mean-
I said the same thing. On the PDF.
So
It's
when
like,
you ship it-
you must keep a recharged 9-volt battery in this machine at all times in the back socket.
What happens?
And I have no idea why they need a 9-volt in the back of the laser.
That's so oddly
work.
specific. I think we should listen to that.
I have no idea. I have no
It
idea.
might be something with like some really, really bad programming or boarding, and if you don't have a 9-volt, it loses
Like-
all of its brain.
Yeah,
Well, it's a shame that we have no idea how to
There's
replace
9
things
volts
with
in the
open
CMOS,
source like
that's
control
what
boards now. That
yeah.
would be a shame if we had no clue how to do that.
So,
Yeah.
So the new laser in there, the blue one, was donated by the guy who makes the hamster wheel ice cream stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Or,
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
He
really
just
all
said
I
it
don't
was
build their
made
own,
like
and I like it.
copper or something. You didn't say it was a hamster wheel guy.
I thought I did.
No.
No, I like the hamster wheel.
The
Yeah, he's
snow
cool.
cones, right?
Yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah.
the hamster wheel ones, yeah.
Yeah.
machine?
The snow cone you have to work out.
All right. Any more questions for Niantic?
Do you work in the Delta Maker place? It's on Grand National Drive?
Yes. Yeah.
I work in the building right next to you.
Do you really? Wait, the hammock building?
No, not literally the room next to you.
There's a guy next to us that
neighboring
like, he just
building.
built hammocks.
You're in the wrong business, dude.
Right?
My 3D printers are frustrating as hell.
No, not at all. They're soothing. Just figuring
You
this,
should
my
come up.
my introduction to 3D printers was another member from the lab, Chorka, and he had a barely working Cells Mendel, which was a conglomeration of about 4 times as many parts as needed to actually build a printer, somehow made into a
It's in
printer.
the warehouse.
It is still out there.
So
okay.
pretty sure it's in the warehouse.
Nice. So I was just told, if you can get this thing to print, you can print the parts for your 3D printer. So I spent the next week and a half just Googling like mad and figuring out like Steinforge and these old Python programs that people cobbled together from backwoods BDCs and stuff
And
like
remember,
that.
YouTube was only 2 years old at this point.
Yeah. So it was definitely
There was only like 10 million videos on there.
Yeah.
no, but
Dark Ages.
All of them
it's
with 4 pixels.
nice. It's fun figuring things out. It's relaxing more than anything. If you need any help, if anyone has like a half broken printer
Yeah,
or anything at home that's not working that resembles a rep wrap, I'll help you fix it. I don't care who you are. I don't care nothing. If you got a machine that needs to be worked on, I'll help you work on it. I'll even probably provide half the parts because I've got loads of those too.
Does Chorka still have the printer that can't go through the door?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an
It's
accident.
faster than
Yeah.
ever now.
Contemplating making the whole room a printer.
Yeah.
The original version of the one that's in the lab, he actually had to install like capacitive resistors because he plugged the
Yeah.
servo into the wall and like blew a 40 amp breaker. So he had to separate the 2 components and rewire his house so that he had an electrical outlet on one breaker and the one next to it on another, and he would plug like 2 parts of that machine into different circuits so that he wouldn't blow the breakers in his house.
That's how you know you're making a big printer.
Yeah, I told him not to move that bed like that.
When he
That's
sat inside of
ridiculous.
it, though, that was the thing.
Oh, that picture.
Thank you.
Yay!
Everyone else wants.
Thank you, Niantic. So next person, Corinne.
Please tell us about yourself.
There's a chair.
I'm very tall.
There's a chair.
Take another step back, there's a chair.
Awesome. I don't really Okay, fine, I'm sitting.
Either way.
Everybody else has been standing, I guess I sit. But,
Be unique.
You knew whatever
That's
you
good.
fair enough. I worked as a mechanic for many years, and I've decided I'm tired of fixing things and I want to make things for myself.
Wait, why are you here?
Heavy equipment, diesel, mostly. But what do you mean? Why am I here?
Well, everything's gonna be
Everything is
broken
always
here.
broken.
Well, then I guess I'm fixing shit again.
You can make new shit instead of fixing it.
Eventually, you get to the point
You
where
make-
the thing that you need to
fix
make
it, so-
requires a thing that's broken, and you end up just fixing everything out of spite. And then everyone's happy, and things are broken, and you tell someone else to do it.
That
and they
just
do it.
sounds like a
The more
maintenance
things you make,
fetch
the more
quest.
things break.
Yeah.
It's just the way it works.
You want this, get this. You want this,
That's-
get this.
That's
fix,
exactly.
Well, tab is usually learn to repair the tool that you want to use first.
What the hell have I
It'll be
signed
a
up
better
for?
We've gotten better.
Absolutely.
You haven't finished this interview yet.
I have a need for machining, and I, more importantly, have a need to learn machining.
Yay.
I don't like classes. I like learning from other people.
Great. I mean,
Why not both?
Yeah. Well, I mean, even if, okay, but like bunches of people.
So, diesel mechanic,
Diesel mechanic.
does the smell of lingering diesel fuel evoke good or bad memories?
Honestly, the smell of diesel fuel, the smell of industrial solvent smells like getting shit done to me. It smells like progress.
nice.
Questions, comments, concerns?
Have you killed anybody recently?
Define recently.
Remember, the statute of limitations does not end.
Well,
Yeah, there is no statute of limitations for murder, so.
Oh, no.
I did not personally.
So, what's your favorite color?
Well, I'm really gay, so it's kind of broad spectrum.
Who's your favorite Ninja Turtle and why is it Raphael?
Okay, Raphael can suck it. Mikey's the best.
What's your favorite fandom?
I'm a fan of a lot of things. I think at the end of the day, though, I am a godless furry.
Have you met Circuit? Have you met Circuit?
I met him at Maker Faire.
Okay, cool.
At least you own it.
Yay, furries! It got way too quiet.
Who else has a
Very
question?
question.
So, what is it you want to learn? What do you want to teach?
I want to learn machining. I need to get better at welding.
There's welding class.
Yes, the class I saw was welding basics. I'm as basic as it gets. I can weld.
There's no welder.
Are you
Just
looking
go at
for
it.
the wire, the stick, which?
I need to learn TIG.
Take.
Well, we
Well,
have
we're out
TIG.
of gas.
We are.
We can
Wait,
fix it.
I
There's
don't
like
pick up
3
gas.
gusts left.
okay, I didn't know we were out of gas.
Okay.
Hashtag pick up gas.
Well, they
Regardless.
didn't ever deliver.
Also, hopefully,
Like,
I don't know, on a weekend sometime, I'm happy to give a TIG crash course.
Okay.
I can by no means teach it because I don't professionally TIG weld, but I've done enough of it where I can probably get you started, and YouTube or whatever can take it the rest of the way.
As I understand it, though, a crash course in the Haas is probably not best.
No.
Please don't crash the
Actually,
Haas.
welding is how you fix that sometimes.
Do you like astronomy based upon your dress, or is it just a coincidence that your dress is constantly?
I like space. I'm not a big fan of too far outside the solar system. I am a big fan, however, of space exploration. I'd like to work for NASA.
Crewed or uncrewed missions?
Preferably crewed, just because I see this planet dying and we need to get the fuck off.
Yep.
That's
We're
rich.
in a gigantic shooting gallery, and that's only going to take one.
So, when will crew fly next, commercially?
I personally don't think commercial should be a factor in it. I'm also an outspoken communist. We'll get to that later.
But polite.
I like anarchy.
Get off my anarchy dick.
I think
think of anything, communism is the opposite of anarchy.
Yeah.
It's like the most authoritarian.
Anarchy
It's-
for everyone.
Communist anarchism exists.
I'm really confused.
Moving on before I offend any other Republicans.
I'm too politically confused.
We don't have many.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Transformer and why is it Starscream?
I like you.
Starscream is the best. I'm gonna be contentious here. Ratchet. Ratchet is my favorite Transformer. A robot that is also a mechanic that I can get behind.
What if that means a doctor?
Would it
Yeah.
though?
I mean, sort of.
Yeah.
But does it have
Like not all the way, but sort of.
Relatively
Alright.
speaking.
Are there any other questions?
No.
Thank you, Corinne.
Okay, so we got 2 people left. So we're gonna go to Adam.
Hi, Dylan.
Dylan. So, hey Lily, can you add on the list,
Dylan?
Dylan. With a lot.
So, hi Adam, tell us about yourself.
I'm usually here for TCP IP on Sundays.
Okay.
And
I think I got
I just I need some workspace to use. I'd like to use your workshop and your woodworking station. I'm really into gardening, so I'd like to make some raised beds, and I'm really into sustainability. So I could possibly make my garden super badass, and I want to.
Have you met the bio guys yet?
August.
Okay.
And
Yeah. Talk to Dave, John Cope. Well, there's
Chris
Chris.
over there.
Yeah, Chris is somewhere around here. Hi, Chris. You're behind Kid's head.
I have a question. Ornamental gardening or like for like food production gardening?
food. I help run a charity garden where we grow lots of well, we're growing right now kale, radishes.
Yes, winter crops. Well, winter Florida crops.
But I'd like to move to some more like perennial stuff, like longevity spinach and such like that.
Nice.
But yeah. Sorry, I'm really nervous.
Can I ask another plant question?
Yes.
Have you ever grown the garden gem tomatoes that UF made a hybrid from?
No.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
They will send you seeds for free.
Some years. I don't have the real garden gem seeds because I've never got in like the 3 days that they will send them to you. But they're apparently very large. They're about the size of a beefsteak tomato.
Really?
And they taste incredible, as I've been told, and they're much stronger flavors than most people are used to. So, which is great because I mean, who wants a tomato that doesn't taste like anything?
Most people.
Most people actually, but yeah, they're delicious, plump, and like naturally insect resistant, stuff like that. Like it's really weird, but apparently they're delicious. They don't travel well, which is why they don't go onto supermarket shelves. So it's like the was it English cucumbers that you can get that are like really thin skinned and delicious, but don't travel. Anyway, you should write them, and then you can maybe get some free seeds.
Yes, go to the website. They have information. They'll send you.
Sorry, I've yet to get garden gem seeds, so I'm looking for somebody to hook up.
So, what do you want to teach us?
I don't know much, but I know that you guys have a lot to offer. I'd like to learn.
Could you teach a gardening class?
Oh, I absolutely could.
There you go.
There you go.
And remember, you only have to be about 5 minutes ahead of everybody else in the class.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, if you can Google it quicker than you can teach it, then you're awesome.
You know more terms than us? Can you make up terms?
have you ever done anything with aquaponics?
Yeah. Here was my first
I've seen an
machine shop
aquaponic
class.
system work. Do you know Maya Papaya? They have over by in Oviedo. They have a garden. They haven't really gone into work very well, and they took it down. So I haven't been very.
I've got one.
excited about it.
I've got one in my house.
Really, does it work very well?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
It has its moments. and its troubles.
400 tilapia.
No, right now it's only down like 40 or 50.
How many? What's the death count?
A lot. It's been several years. Some of them have jumped out on their own to commit suicide. Some of them have been taken by raccoons and
Oh, the hurricane.
and hurricanes when power goes out. And there's been a few deaths for various reasons, little plumbing failures, and whatever.
We cooked them.
Oh yeah, we did. We cooked like 40 of them once.
How dirty is the tank?
Was it?
How dirty is the tank?
It's actually completely clear.
Really? How?
Just plants.
Magic.
I have a swirl filter. That's about it.
Biology.
Yeah, kinda.
Some flecos.
Biology. You should go hang out with David.
We should talk later.
Okay.
I will explain things. So yes.
Pictures and diagrams.
Yes, I can do that.
Just don't ask him to write. It's hard to read.
So my girlfriend has all these plants on the back porch, and when she travels, it becomes my responsibility to water them.
Aquaponics solves that for you.
My question is, if I were to take the plants and exchange them with plastic ones, how long do you think I could go before she notices?
How much do you like the relationship?
Hey, I've changed some plants already, and she thinks she's got a green thumb now.
You were on the internet, by the way.
Yeah, first fucking
Yeah. I've had a thin cactus plant for way too long, and I don't know how it's lived because I forget to water it for like 3 months.
I have a non-related question.
Broke it off.
What's your favorite fandom?
My favorite fandom?
Yeah.
I like Warhammer 40K.
I know we've got a few 40K players here.
That's expensive. How did you afford it? I don't know.
Will.
I'm pretty sure Matt at some point won the lottery and just doesn't tell us.
Oh?
Yeah.
Drop into tabletop game chat.
Okay.
We have one.
Matt just
Formerly
remains
known as the
silent.
dungeon.
Nope, different dungeon.
And that's why it's called tabletop jam now.
I started that channel and the purpose was misconstrued. Now I'm playing games there.
All
right.
Anyway.
Are there any more questions?
Thank you, Adam.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Next person on our list is Alice.
All right, I know I was on the list.
You are on the list.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
tell us everything about you.
Why?
She was singing
Why?
Hyper.
You got two.
Got two runs at the same time.
You can
Tip efficiency.
Hi, I'm Alice.
I've never met you before.
Huh?
Who are you?
Oh, you've never?
Never.
I feel betrayed here, Nick.
She has face paint on.
Even my wife recognizes me.
So you're here to introduce her.
I'm an adult now, so everyone's gonna make big jokes about that. And I'm a student. I don't have a job. It sucks. Anyway,
Welcome to adulthood.
and I'm not good at this thing. Hi, what's your question?
What are you going to school for?
Don't you live with me? Oh, I gotta answer it anyway?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to school for drafting.
Okay. All right.
And then
What system are you
Oh,
using?
nice. No, drafting is blueprints and schematics, and I'm using AutoCAD at the moment because my teacher's really
Part of
slow.
AutoCAD.
Which variant of AutoCAD?
Yes.
So 2018, actually.
Well, that still doesn't answer the question. Are we talking
Right.
like inventor, or are we talking?
Yeah, like which part of
No, AutoCAD.
AutoCAD.
Autodesk is what you're thinking.
Is it AutoCAD?
AutoCAD is part of Autodesk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's Autodesk
Are you using
Inventor and
AutoCAD?
Autodesk Fusion.
Right,
There are
but she's
auto-
saying she's using Autodesk.
Oh,
AutoCAD.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
We tripped up on that.
And we're gonna be learning Rivet.
You're-
Yeah,
Yes,
Revit.
Revit, you will
Revit.
fucking.
Yeah.
Revit, it is,
I don't know how it's
it is
I don't
beautiful.
know how it's spelled.
REVIT.
Yeah.
It is the best.
Spelled like
I
it
fucking
sounds.
love it.
It's
Our
only
teacher won't let us talk about it. He's
What?
like,
Well, your
he's like,
teacher
no.
can go shop.
That's because you'll jump off of AutoCAD in a heartbeat.
Yeah, like Revit is designed.
You'll be like, why are we learning this
Exactly.
anymore?
So here's
Yeah,
the
it's
best
like
part
you
about
still
all of
use
this,
it.
which no one's told you yet. You can't just learn one system. You actually
you
have
do.
to learn all of them.
Every intern that comes back from the internship, because they have to come back every 2 weeks, goes, oh God.
So you have
Yeah.
like in our company we use Revit, AutoCAD, Fusion, sometimes Inventor, sometimes SolidWorks.
What? Salad works.
Sometimes you have to.
I'm down for salads.
No.
The more you get in the industry, the more you realize that the more people try to standardize, the more standards that appear.
There's an XKCD.
Yeah, I was about to say that. There are 13 competing standards. We need to solve it. There are 14 competing standards.
Why are you raising your
Any
hand?
questions?
You
for
just
Alex?
talk.
If I say I put on my Robo Wizard hat, does that mean anything to you?
Why would it mean? I mean, you're old, so.
I'm almost twice your age.
Yeah, exactly.
Any
Why are you
serious
still raising your
questions?
hand? You live
Not
with me.
from her parents.
You live
But I'm confused now.
Not
Because I live with you. What the hell's wrong with your face?
Thank you, Alex.
Is this the first time you put makeup on? I mean,
It's my second.
Where's the carnival we can go to?
We just came from
Since
Disney.
it's been asked of everyone else, what is your favorite color?
Oh, I'm actually wearing 2
No.
out of
All right, thanks
3.
for
The real
For those of you who don't know, we're now giving
We've
Alice
known
a hard
Alex for a
time.
long,
But
long
we've known her for a while.
She's the daughter of a member, and she has to go through the
A member.
process, just like
A
everyone else.
member.
You're not my real daughter.
He says that more than I say his name.
Thank you, Alice. Or the
What's that
pinch.
face
All
for?
right.
Come on, Dave.
Please.
I didn't even start
Dave,
this.
save us. Dave, save us.
The next person we have is Dylan. He's gonna tell us all about his boat and
Dylan, say
whatever
us.
else that he does and tells us all the good stuff. Dylan has show and tell.
Hi. So I'm Dylan.
Hi, Dylan.
I have crazy ADD, so if you guys have help with something, say
Welcome
it,
to the
and
club.
I might have experience in it, just because I get super bored super easy. What's relevant to, I'm sure. What's relevant to here? An ethical hacker. Just got actually hired to get paid to do it in July. I'm doing my CEH on Monday, so hopefully that's easy. I started a composite shop out in California to dump my life savings into this that hasn't panned out yet. It is a ruggedized RC boat that operates in the ocean in any surf conditions. We've thrown it off a 50-foot pier and it was fine. This is hollow and it's total separate piece. So it self-rights when it gets knocked over by a 30-foot wave.
Nice.
Here's the guts. The cooling is all ram water. It's mostly fiberglass, a little bit of carbon fiber on the battery, tie down. 2.5 horsepower electric motor. It runs best with two 1200 milliamp batteries, but they're expensive, so I haven't run it in like 2 years. Like 4 pieces that I'll just get bonded together. And then if anyone here has run an RC boat, you have to tape them up, and that's hot garbage. So we just bought a giant neoprene ring tube thing and laid it in there. And now it's just one bolt. You don't have to run tape. I also am a huge knife nerd for whatever reason. I just kind of fell into it. And I started a knife shop. I went crazy for survival knives.
Nice.
I went through a survival phase.
Like Gerber, Cold Steel, what?
I made my own. I just started making like 3/16 inch thick machete things, and now I can't find the screw thread. I'll worry about that later.
Have you talked with Ed, our knife guy? No.
You like just joined Slack 2
So,
days ago.
I don't know.
Yes,
Did
but
We
you-
have,
you
we have a
said
guy
you
who
were
sits and makes knives all day long.
Here?
Yeah.
Okay, so what
That's all he
grinder
does.
do you guys have?
Ed.
Because since I left California, my grinder cannot be plugged in because it would destroy my house. It is 2.5 horsepower and it needs 220.
Okay,
Um,
that doesn't sound too terrible.
It can live here.
We have plenty of amps. So
There is paperwork
three-phase.
that you can fill out to officially.
And we will decide that if we actually have a need for it.
I also brought my hack kit. So all the things to destroy a network are in that bag.
Is this just straight Hack 5 stuff, or is there other stuff in there?
There's a couple other things, yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, a lot of Hack 5 stuff because it's freaking easy. But I'm sure
Our
I'm
network
missing
here is
stuff.
totally secure and impenetrable.
Yeah, no, don't care. They set it up. Some of it.
I can't believe you said that with a straight face.
Yes.
Oh,
The password is like right there.
so I was
That's
gonna
the
ask,
password.
what is your favorite exploit, or what's the coolest exploit?
USB rubber ducky is my favorite because if you can physically get to a computer, you can either exfil everything from it or just wreck it for fun. The best thing you can hope for is that no one knew you did it. So the USB rubber ducky is great because you go there, you either dump some file or you exfil data and you walk away, and the computer is exactly the same as it was when you walked in.
Hi.
Hi, Philly.
If you guys didn't know, just the rubber ducky, it emulates a keyboard.
Yeah,
There's an implicit trust. You
I
plug
brought
it in
one
and
if
it acts
anyone wants to
as a
see it.
keyboard. I got a couple of them.
Just don't plug it into your computer.
Yeah. Yes.
Or
What is
do.
your small wave runner boat? What does it do? What is it for?
So the idea behind it was we wanted to sell it to people that wanted to film water sports.
That makes sense.
The larger one houses 4 GoPros. This one can house 1 comfortably without losing its self-righting property. You just give it like a little beluga whale hump and it lives in there. You just kind of plunk it in. Navy said that once we were ready to sell it for like a fraction of the cost, they wanted to put C4 in it. We're on board with that.
Are you allowed to be saying that on the internet?
Yeah. That's, I mean,
They didn't make the Navy
they
want to
haven't
put
done it
C4 in
yet.
Yeah,
so-
you haven't signed paper.
You're
so-
probably not gonna lose any friends.
But the hope is that someone will eventually pick it up. Watershed was at Maker Faire and they seemed super interested, but they didn't quite understand what it was.
You raised them.
Yeah, we raced them a bunch when we were out in California. That's how we got the most people to kind of show up and ooh and ah when we just threw 3 of them in the water and ran them at like 30 miles an hour into the surf.
There's a guy you should talk to here, Jim Diaz, who has done some cool things with ocean-related activities.
Awesome.
You guys should get along.
Awesome.
I can't go too much without the whole things over the internet.
Okay.
You know, he did probably this.
I understand.
Anything else?
Favorite fandom?
Star Wars. I named my son Luke. So.
Oh wait, he has a rebel emblem on his boat.
Yes. That is actually real carbon.
So we forgot the most important questions. What's your favorite color?
Blue because I'm an aviation junkie.
And if you were to have a lightsaber, what color would it be and why would it be red?
It would be blue.
Because you're a Jedi Guardian.
Well, that's what I always picked back during the original Knights of the Old Republic games, and it feels right now.
Who do you feel is the best Jedi and why is it Mace Windu?
I'm an Obi-Wan fan.
That patient defense, man.
That was a wonderfully attractive face. Plus.
I was asked, so what do you think about the new Star Wars films?
I actually am 100% down with them. I enjoy the hell out of them, and my sons enjoyed the hell out of them, so I'm hoping the next one's going to be awesome too.
Any other questions? Okay. Thank you, Dylan.
Yay!
Last person is Benit.
Yes.
Hey, you want me to point the camera at you, or you want to sit there?
Anything that.
Hey, look, you got options.
Take up the computer and follow him around the room.
That's tempting.
Yeah.
Then the camera can't point at me.
Yeah. It'd be like Steve Jobs, except I am better than him.
Oh, wow.
Hi, my name is Vineet.
Hi, Vineet.
Thank you. Hi.
Obviously, your name is Savage.
Also, Vineet Savage watching. So I would actually sit down.
You're a king, of course.
King of savagery.
Okay. So I actually
moved to Orlando 3 months back from Gainesville, where I completed my master's in computer science from the University of Florida.
Yay!
So then he made us over here. Hello.
Congratulations on all your debt.
Thank you. And before that, I studied some electrical engineering, or back in India where they were trying to make up degrees, they call it electronics engineering. And well, they need the money, so I don't blame them. I got yeah, so I've never really so over here what I'm really for is to start with some woodworking. I've never really worked with wood before. Like I've made a few table tennis bats and a few clipboards when I wanted to make a clipboard for my exam, and my recent one was broken because I was beating some friends up with that. And yeah, so apart from the very basic stuff, I don't really know much, and I would really like to learn how to carve things in wood. It may or may not be related to parts and recreation, but whatever. I am pretty interested in working with wood, mainly carving. I was here for this introduction to FamiLAB maybe a month or two back, and that's where I met you. You introduced me to like the whole space. Sorry, there was another person who was introducing me to the whole space. That's where I met him. And apart from that, I don't really know much about this place. I know that I've looked up the forums and everything, and I know that people teach and people like share knowledge, and people also learn new things. So that's what I'm mostly excited about. And yes, let's get on with the questions.
What's your favorite color?
So my favorite color is yellow.
Oh wait, I gotta steal Mike's question. What's your fandom?
It is Tolkien, everything Tolkien. I love
A classic.
And yeah, I've read all the books. I've seen all the movies, and I hated the new movies. If anyone's gonna ask me.
I did that. Was that Star Wars or the Hobbit movies?
The Hobbit movies.
Fun. What do you?
To be fair, Peter Jackson also hated the new movies.
What's your favorite Lord of the Rings film, and why is it the Two Towers?
That's a good question. My favorite Lord of the Rings movie would be actually Fellowship of the Ring. I have to disagree because it has a lot more than any other movie. And yep, my favorite character is Gandalf the Grey, especially
Not
when
the
he was
white.
with the Grey.
Not the white, the
Not
gray.
the Grey.
Okay, very specific.
Yeah.
Well, it's an important difference.
It is.
Tabs or
Characteristics of
spaces?
brain.
Tabs.
How many spaces are your tabs?
4 spaces.
Yes, that's acceptable.
Yeah.
Do you like prop building and set building since you like woodworking?
I've never thought of that, but I would be interested in, because it involves a lot of carving and making props and art. So I would definitely be interested in that. But I've never really explored it. So as far as making goes, I have worked a lot with embedded systems, making circuit boards out of nothing, like taking a raw breadboard and working out all connections, making sure it works on an oscillator and everything, and then etching and then creating a circuit board. And I don't know if any of you are familiar with those persistence of vision projects, but I've made a few of them. They didn't work quite as well, but I enjoyed making them. And I also built a few robots when I was back in school. That is college, not school. And yeah.
How wide do the trays have to be to carry 60 amps?
I'm sorry?
That was a
1 ounce or 2 ounce copper?
So the answer is 1 ounce copper plus a ton of it will not carry 600 amps. However, I wasn't trying to carry 600 amps. I plugged the battery into itself by accident.
Is that one of those like 30C batteries?
So it was a 4-cell 5 amp hour LiPo. It was good for 20C, but according to the internal resistance, it would actually do 840 amp short circuit current. My hand didn't appreciate that when it was holding. That hurt.
Hey, at least a wrench didn't disappear on you. I had that happen.
What's the what's the
sad.
current capacity of a wrench?
The current capacity of a 7/16" wrench is approximately 8,000 amps.
Slow blow?
Yeah, it was. There wasn't the middle of the wrench left, so no, it just went away.
So wrench huge.
Yeah.
There's a YouTube video.
Sorry. Hi.
Yes.
Got a question?
I regret not asking this of everybody else because I posed this question to my coworkers. The internet is going to be destroyed. You can only save one meme in any form. What meme will you save?
Why?
Because it's hilarious. And I get to know a lot about people this way.
So I'm not really big on memes,
Oh my
but my
don't like the Hobbit. Not big on me.
my idea would be to save the meme that's most versatile, so that I can deliver most message.
That's a fair answer.
So I think, but I do really like the new Pikachu memes. Yes, the new Pikachu memes or the Boromir meme because I am a Tolkien
Okay,
fan.
what do you mean by the new one? Do you mean the one where they consistently get higher quality, or the higher quality one, or the surprise Pikachu that's been around for like a long time?
No, the surprise Pikachu one.
That's been around for a while.
Okay, nobody was here to criticize. It was
Hey,
just a question.
Hey, Pepperidge Farm remembers.
God, I appreciate your life.
Throw something.
All right, are there any other questions for?
What is this?
Wait until the rhinos completely stop before I say it.
No, they don't hear it. They don't
All
want
right, are
to
there any other questions?
No. Thank you.
So we have reached the end of our meeting. Nobody has completed the process. There were no testimonials this month. And nobody died.
Yay, no murders.
So if you see somebody do awesome, put something in the awesome box, also testimonial box, wherever it's at. Black box up there. It's usually in the lobby. If you want to give testimonials, please do that. If you're a new member, please do awesome things and get testimonials.
And annoy people to give you testimonials.
Yes.
And come see me after the meeting.
Yes, anybody who introed, please come see Lily.
There's also electronic forms, right?
Hi.
Yes, there are forms. I don't remember what the link is, but it can be reposted. It's actually, I think it's tagged on the
Submitted already.
It's on the membership page of the website, or just fill out the paper.
Is there anything, is there any other business before we close the meeting?
I don't know why.
Not quite yet. Is the meeting?
It's open.
It's
open.
And we are officially adjourned.
Thank you, everybody.
9:24 p.m. Thank you for attending.